There we go.
Yeah, welcome. We're here today, another one of our series of virtual tours of the Willamette Valley. One of the unique things Raptor Ridge is in one winery, you can get a taste of vineyard designated wines that we make from almost all the AVAs, the American viticultural areas inside the Willamette Valley. Let me show you a map of the Willamette Valley, at least the northern reaches. This is basically a 2-hour drive between Portland and south to below Salem. We source from about 14 different vineyards. Today, we're taking you down into the Eola Hills here at Zenith Vineyard, where we make both a vineyard designated Pinot Noir, but in this package that we're offering this month while we're all hunkered down, we've got a very unique wine, Auxerrois, or Auxerrois, as the French would call it. It's a beautiful white wine found predominantly in Alsace. It's found a new home here again, and we want to introduce you to Tim Ramey, the owner and proprietor and grower of this fine fruit. And he's going to take us through a little tour of the Auxerrois block and talk about what's the unique soil and climate and his cultural approach. Tim, welcome. Good to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Scott and Annie. So welcome to Zenith Vineyard. I might have met some of you at previous Oktoberfest celebrations. I've been to a couple of those release parties. But we are, as Scott said, here in our Auxerrois block. We actually have another block that's older than this one, dating back to 1997 or 98, when the previous owner of our vineyard, together with David Adelsheim, worked to establish Auxerrois in the Willamette Valley. When I bought the vineyard in 2002, we had no idea what it was. We just knew that we had 0.72 acres of this thing that was sort of unpronounceable. But as winemakers made wine from this block over the years, we grew to be devotees of this. I think Annie and Scott attended a dinner we did maybe 10 years ago where we had 28 or 29 different samples of Auxerrois from all around the world, trying to decide what's the house style going to be? What does this wine actually mean? And ultimately, we've learned a lot, figured out a lot, and now Raptor Ridge is, I think, the standard bearer for Auxerrois in the Willamette Valley. So we planted another 2.5 acres here in 2002, and that's where the Raptor Ridge Auxerrois comes from. This is a site that's on marine sediments. The Willamette Hills is either volcanic soil or marine sediments, and pretty much wherever you go within Zenith Vineyard, if you dig down 18 inches to 6 feet, you're going to run across this very grainy, chalky soil that has no organic matter in it at all. And I think that's what makes Zenith Vineyard special. As I mentioned, these vines were planted in 2012, so they're beginning to get into their late youth, early adulthood, and we're getting full crops out of them now, and we kind of love what that means.
Let's take a look at what a full crop is. Tim, I'm going to bring up a photo. This was taken the day before harvest last year. One of the other things that's so unique about Auxerrois is this mauve color, this kind of brilliant pink and fuchsia, almost iridescent glow that comes on the grape clusters. Now, Auxerrois is it's a sibling of Chardonnay. They both are descendants of Pinot Noir, crossbred with Gouais Blanc, and creates a wine that has the same kind of heft and palate weight of Chardonnay itself, but with more perfume, I think, and maybe in Shannon's hands, a little more focus on that vibrancy and minerality and kind of an acid edge. Shannon, what's your take on Auxerrois? What do you like about making this wine?
Well, 2017 was my first year actually working with Auxerrois, so I didn't even know what it was before coming to Raptor Ridge. But in working with it now, what I love about Auxerrois is it has more of an acid and minerality to it, and it's got more of a freshness. It reminds me more of a European wine versus something per se stateside. So if you were to blind me on it, I would have no idea that it wasn't from the US. We do it all barrel fermented, so in neutral oak barrels, and because it has such a low malic acid content in it, we decided not to put it through malolactic fermentation to kind of preserve some of that acidity that it has in it, because Auxerrois, as Scott told me when I first got there, has the ability to just drop its acid really quick.
Back to you, Tim. Yeah, that's one of the clues you gave us when we started working, that tasting and measuring the sugar and the acid. One day you'll say, I'm about a week away from ripeness, and the next day the TA just starts to drop off a cliff. So maybe to finish the conversation, what's unique about the soil, the microclimate, and your cultural approach, your philosophy about growing wine grapes there at Zenith Vineyard?
Sure, thanks for that question. So Zenith is right in the teeth of the Van Duzer corridor. We get this amazing wind every afternoon that comes in as the hot air rises in the Willamette Valley, sucks cold air in from the Pacific Ocean, which is only about 30 miles from us here. And it might be 100 degrees at 4 in the afternoon on an August day, but by 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, it might be 65 or 70 degrees. It's not unusual at all for us to have a 30-degree swing in temperature. And that's really great for growing grapes, because we like that hot day for photosynthesis, but we like the cool night for preserving acidity. And I think that's something that's really special about the Willamette Hills in general, and our vineyard in particular. Our approach to viticulture, we're live certified, and we kind of think of ourselves as doing intelligent organic, essentially. We're not organic certified, but almost everything we do would be organic certified. And we're essentially trying to make the least impact decisions that we can for the sprays that we use, for our cultural practices, and so on. For instance, Live would be quite happy to have us use Roundup in the vineyard, and we never have. Not that I really think Roundup is heinous or horrible. I just think my customers are concerned about Roundup, and that's important. So we're producing premium products for a premium market, and it's important for us to do the things that give people confidence that what they're getting in their glass is an ultra premium product.
Thanks, Tim. Well, we love getting your grapes. We love working with you, and the attention to detail, and the fact that, you don't use herbicides. In fact, I think I see a in-row cultivator running there in the vineyard this afternoon. So
I'm very excited to have it out. Yes, it's nice to be able to get some of that done in March.
So the of the 3-pack and of the 3 vineyard tour that we're taking you on this week, Zenith Vineyard Auxerrois is the only white wine. We'll be bringing you a couple of other Pinots, more on that in the next video. But we also make the Auxerrois in these beautiful magnums, these large flute-sized magnums, of which we have an extremely limited number. So if you want one, you better call me quick.
They're really fun to pour from, and they're great for when we all get back together again. Great for parties. If you look on our website right now, we're running an incredible deal on 3 bottles for $99, and that includes shipping. And it's the 2016 Crawford Beck, the 2016 Temperance Hill, and the 2017 Zenith Vineyard Auxerrois to your front door through FedEx, or we are at the winery taking appointments for curbside pickup as well. So we would love to help you get through this time, and stay tuned for more videos from the Eola Amity Hills. This is the first in the series. So Tim, thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to get back together with you again once this is all over. And thanks for showing us your beautiful vineyard today and being with us in the Eola Amity Hills.
Best to
Thank
you.
Thank you, Annie, Scott, and Shannon.